Hey y'all, how are you? Hi, it's Eve. How you doing today? If you're new to my channel, my name's Eve Clark with Disabled Diva Travels. I talk to people about traveling with disabilities or limited mobility. Um, I travel the world. I've been to over 60 countries. And if you're new here today, like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and all that jazz. All right. I wanted to go live today to talk to you all about the benefits of having travel insurance. Um, I myself, hold on a minute, I am getting my light situation together. There we go. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about having travel insurance. As a not just as a disabled traveler, I believe that everybody could benefit from having travel insurance. Whether you are a single person traveling the world solo, whether you're going on a quick 1 week vacation, whether you're a nomad, whether you're a slow traveler, you could be perfectly healthy, not just a disabled traveler, but even more so for a disabled traveler. I believe you need travel insurance. Even if you are not traveling internationally, you could be traveling right here in the good old US of A, right? You need travel insurance. And there's a multitude of reasons why you need it. And today I'm just going to cover what I believe would be the top 5 reasons why you need travel insurance. So, hey, if you're watching this live video, hey, welcome. If you are watching a replay, hey, people in the future, welcome. And stick around for my channel because even though these are the top 5 reasons, I believe that I am going to add more videos on travel insurance because it's an important topic and I think it's overlooked a little bit in the travel community. So, the first reason that I wrote some notes this time because I believe travel insurance is so important to us. And if you send me an email at eve@disableddivatravels.com, I'll shoot you over a list. I'll shoot you over a PDF that gives you all of these tips too. I'll also try to link it down in the description box, along with some links on where to look for travel insurance, right? So, the first thing I want to talk to you about is number one, the number one reason trip cancellation, right? It happens. And whether you are canceling your trip or whether your trip got canceled by your tour group that you're going on, whether there was a hurricane, whether you had illness, sickness, your wife, your spouse, your travel partner, multitude of reasons for canceling your trip. Trip insurance can refund you. Now, a lot of people think there is such a thing called cancel for any reason, right? Or you might see it called CFAR, right? CFAR. Um, there is a such thing as cancel for any reason, but it usually has strings attached. And this is one of the many reasons you need to read the fine print on your insurance policy, right? So you might just decide, hey, you know what? They're fighting in Israel and Gaza, and I don't want to go on this trip to the Maldives. They're really not close to each other, but you might decide, hey, I don't want to travel. But guess what? Your travel insurance might deny you your claim. If they ask you, why did you cancel this trip? I just didn't feel like going. Well, I just didn't feel like going is not a reason. You have to make sure your policy allows for reasons to cancel and that your excuse that you give them for canceling fits that reason. Also, can't most policies for that have a cancel for any reason um, claim in them, you have to purchase that insurance within 2 weeks or 14 days of putting a deposit down or paying for the trip. That is really something to keep in mind. And some policies might even say you need to purchase it within 48 hours for the cancel for any reason clause to be still valid, right? So make sure you're looking at that when you cancel, when you want your policy to specifically include cancel for any reason. The next one is lost or delayed. You want to make sure you look at the fine print on the policy for luggage lost or delayed. Now, some of them will automatically give you $100 or $200 to buy incidentals if your luggage is delayed a day, right? And then if it's delayed 2 days, it might go up. If it's delayed 5 days, most of the time they consider that lost luggage, even if you get it back. But some policies have a limit on what you can claim was in that bag, right? So, what are some ways to protect you, right? One, know what the limits are before you're putting expensive items in your luggage. Most of the times, if I have something expensive on me or I'm taking it with me on a trip, it's with me in my carry on luggage. What's in your suitcase? Hey, take a snapshot of it before you close it, right? If you have something of value and you want to know what's in there. Also, some policies for you to get reimbursement, they make you have a receipt for anything over $25 that you want to claim. So think about that. Think about the clothes that you take with you. Think about how you pack and the cost of the luggage in and of itself and how long you keep receipts. Did you pay for that $500 coat that you bought in Barbados with cash? And you didn't really get a receipt, you just grabbed it and walked out with it, and now it's in your suitcase. Think about those kind of things along with your travel insurance, right? Also, in addition to your travel policy, you might be double covered depending on what credit card that you use to book your trip. Some credit cards also provide trip delay and lost luggage coverage as well. And there's a difference between delayed and lost. Make sure you know the difference there. Travel delays, right? That's the number three reason you need travel insurance. It's to protect you from travel delays. If your flight is delayed an hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, you might miss a connection. Or let's say you're going to Belize and your flight out of Houston is delayed. Well, if you were going after you land in Belize, if you were going to Ambergris Caye, well, guess what? They don't fly to that island after 5 o'clock because the airport has no lights, right? So if your Houston flight is delayed, getting into Belize City, well, then now you need to spend the night there before you can catch the ferry or a flight over to the other island. Same thing if you're connecting through Tokyo to get to Singapore or to get to Bali, and it's one or two flights a day going that way, and you miss your connection. Trip delay insurance protects that. You can have a delay for weather, it could be mechanical issues, it could be technical issues with the flight, lack of crew. Trip delay will pay you for any extra fees you incur for accommodations or a rental car or such if you have this clause. And that's why it's important. The fourth thing is travel assistance, right? You might need a doctor, or you might need to get other information if you're unfamiliar with the destination, if you have language barriers. Trip insurance can provide you with a concierge that can help you if you need assistance in these situations. It's a good thing to have. Make sure you look at the clauses on your policy. And of course, medical emergencies, right? That's number five. Medical emergencies. That's so important to not just have trip insurance for medical emergencies that you might encounter on your vacation, but to really, you need to understand what your policy covers. Are they going to pay that hospital right now? Are you going to get reimbursed? Know the difference in the coverages. Are they primary or are they secondary? Prime example, I had to be hospitalized in Bali, and my insurance was my travel insurance with World Nomads at the time was secondary to my Humana healthcare coverage, which includes worldwide hospitalization coverage. But guess what? World Nomads, not only were they secondary to my Humana healthcare policy, they had to, in order for me to get even reimbursed by World Nomads, I had to have Humana agree to say what they were going to pay for, and then I can send it. But guess what? I didn't go right home. And Humana only wanted original documents. And I was going to be in Indonesia for another, I think it was 4 or 5 months. So I had to wait to get back to the US to send them the documents. I sent them the original documents. They decided what they were going to pay. Then I sent that EOB, explanation of my benefits, to World Nomads. And then they decided the rest that they were going to pick up. This whole process in totality took almost a year for me to get my money back. Right now, true enough, thankfully, that hospitalization only cost me a little over $1,000. But what if it had been much more? Right. So keep in mind not only the amount of coverage you have, keep in mind how they reimburse you for the coverage. Do they pay the hospital or not? Like World Nomads, if I had been in the hospital one more day, they would have paid up front. They would have went ahead and sent money because then it would have been kind of termed or deemed catastrophic, and they would have paid up front, and then they would have worked it out with Humana how much they were getting back. But you need to make sure that you look at all the reasons why or all of the nuances into your travel insurance policy. Are they going to pay for you? I also had, if I'm not mistaken, I've also had policies that would have paid for someone to fly in to stay with me. Now, my husband was already with me at this time, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But if he wasn't there, they would have paid for him. They would have also paid to send me back to America, back to my home. But at the time, I wasn't living in America, so I didn't want to go back there. Which brings me to another thing with medical coverage, and I might have to do a whole nother video on this, is the time that my insurance didn't cover me was when I was in a coverage donut hole, basically when I caught COVID in Dubai. And I think that was December of 2021. There's also a video that I did with Rashida Dow, Shida on the Loose. Hey, Rashida. I did a video with her explaining what that whole situation was. It was so much drama. But I'll link that down below in the description box. I think it's already in my playlist on my channel under Shida on the Loose, and I talk about catching COVID overseas. So that was a whole drama. But I happened to be in a donut hole because of the way I travel. I travel generally on one-way tickets from one place to the next place. Sometimes those tickets aren't linked. I don't buy accommodations in advance a lot of times, or it makes a difference in how policies affect me or how they become valid. So just understand, for you slow travelers out there, you might want to get an annual policy. But even then, some annual policies that are based in the US, they have clauses that you have to jump back into the US after so many days. So for you slow mads, nomads, expats, you can have insurance that covers you. It's different than standard travel insurance because you can only be on a trip for so many days, or it'll cover you in certain countries. And if you come back to the USA, you're not covered there. So there's so many ins and outs of travel insurance. And today I just wanted to hit a few of them that I thought were really important. So in closing out, I wanted to remind you about one, what are the top reasons? Trip coverage, right? Trip cancellation, sorry, lost or delayed luggage, travel delays, travel assistance, and medical emergencies. And a bonus little tip is think about repatriation of your remains or emergency evacuation. Those you can also get a separate rider into your policy for that. And another little bonus tip is also if you are going to do extreme sports, right? And extreme could mean um, hot air ballooning, right? It could mean ATV riding, it could mean water skiing, parasailing, even riding on a motorbike or a moped or a scooter, right? Some of these things or activities will not be covered on a standard travel insurance policy, right? So these are things you want to look out for. Trip duration, make sure you look out for that. And again, I talked about cancellation reasons. Just know your rights and know this small print. I know a lot of people think, oh, I just got insurance when I bought my ticket. You know, American Airlines, I bought a ticket with them and they had insurance at the end, and I clicked yes, added that $40 and I'm covered. But are you? If you are going to ride a motorbike all through Bali, are you really covered? Maybe not, right? So these are the things that you need to know. So I think that's all I have for you today. Again, I will try to link it down below, the document that I have with the tips and tricks on purchasing travel insurance. Make sure you can either send me an email if it doesn't work out with me putting it below. And if you want some humor, check out that video I did with Shida on the Loose about catching COVID in Dubai, because boy, was that something. Anyway, like, subscribe, share this video, and see y'all next time. Bye.